Hello people, how are you doing? I know I haven't done any videos in a very long time, and I'm so sorry for that, but I haven't had much time. In January and February I've been traveling in Australia, Fiji and New Zealand for a couple of months. It's been great, and I got a little bit of Maori and Fijian too. I learned basics, and yeah, I talked to people, above all in Fiji, because I didn't find many Maori people who I could speak Maori to. And after I came back, I have been really focused on Thai language, so I didn't do anything about my other languages. Okay, I know it's a bad thing because I left them aside for a while. But lately, for the last couple of weeks or something like that, I've started to take them back. I wanted to study a little bit of Chinese again, and some Russian, and a little bit of Japanese, but I haven't been focusing on it either. So yeah, I'm gonna talk today about the things that I've been doing lately, and something that has changed a little. Because for some languages I already have a great knowledge of the grammar, but now I feel that I don't have enough vocabulary. So what I've been doing is making lists of vocabulary. Let me show you. Okay. Every page has got 18 languages, the ones that I'm working on. So I have Spanish, sign language, Galician, Portuguese, Italian, Catalan, French, Indonesian, Tagalog, English, German, Dutch, Basque, Russian, Hindi, Thai, Chinese, and Japanese. Okay? So what I do is, I'm not making lists of vocabulary according to any lists out there, like for example animals and all of the animals. I'm not doing that. I'm focusing on words that I need when I want to talk. That means that, for example, let me show you the first page. In English, I don't know if you can see it, we have verb to be. This would be, for example, an introduction of myself. To be, to have, there is, there are, do, make, ago, work, live, Spain, like, and travel, so that I can make a sentence such as, for example, my name is Javier, I am from Spain, I like to travel, okay, and yeah, and now I live in Thailand, something like that. So I've got that in all languages, in all 18 languages, so that I can make this conversation, this basic introduction, okay. My two strongest languages, of course, are Spanish and English. That's why the first column on one side is Spanish and on the other side is English, okay. So that words that come to my mind, I write them down in either Spanish or English, and then I just do this. Okay, let me show you. For example, I write them in Spanish, then I do this, and I write them here. Okay, so I've got the Spanish and the English, so that I can work on both sides of the page. Because of course, when I'm on this side, I can't see the Spanish, but I can see the English, which is the same. And when I'm on this side, I work from Spanish. Okay? So, for example, we have to be in different languages. to be is a verb that I know in all of these languages, so I didn't have to write it down. But for example, if I didn't know it yet, I could write the different forms, like I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. Okay. If for one of these languages I didn't know it, I could write it here. Like for example, in Italian, okay, essere. Oh, because to be in Spanish and in Romance languages has two possibilities: ser and estar. Essere, stare. Ser, estar in Portuguese. So let's imagine that I don't know the conjugation for to be in present for Italian. So I could write here io sono, sei, siamo, siete, sono. Okay? That's the best way, because to be is just the verb, but I need to conjugate it in different languages. Okay? So for a sign language, I use something like this. Well, I understand what I wrote, so that's enough. For example, there is, there are. I wrote this, which means that you go from this hand to this hand. So that means that I do this. Can you see it? Okay, from this to this. Okay, whatever. So I'm making lists of words for little things that come to my mind. For example, I've got lots of vocabulary about hotel and restaurant stuff because I work in a hotel teaching languages. So also when we have customers that don't speak English, I take care of them. And I have had to take care of customers in Chinese or in Japanese or in Russian, which I'm definitely not fluent at. So it was really hard. So I know that I need more vocabulary, but the menus, but the basic stuff in the restaurant, for example, fork, spoon, knife, napkin, glass, plate, it's easy because actually that's the vocabulary that I teach the staff at the hotel and the restaurant in English. The Thai people, I teach the Thai people English, so I teach all of that. Then, for example, if I want to say, on Sundays we have a special party, which is Sunday brunch. We have lots of guests in the beach club. So when they come in, we usually explain, would you like to have a table or a sunbed? The prices of the brunch is blah 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 blah, whatever. Would you like to be in the shade or in the sunshine, or would you like to have an umbrella? Whatever. Would you like to be near the beach or near the swimming pool? All of these things. So I feel that I need that vocabulary because on Sundays I am a host doing this. I'm a host doing this. Okay, so I have lists of vocabulary. For example, let me see. Yeah, all of this stuff like table, bed, how many people, what time, pillows, towels, etc. Then vocabulary about the rooms when I have to help at the front desks, at the hotel's front desk. So we have this kind of room with a double room or single room with a double bed or twin beds, or the key, the Wi-Fi, the whatever. Okay. So that's how I'm building a whole list of vocabulary. It takes a long time because I have in my 8 to 10 most fluent languages, it's okay because I just do it fast because I know the vocabulary already. Maybe I forgot one word, so I have to check it, or maybe I check the the gender in German, for example, if I don't remember, things like that. But for my weakest languages, I don't know any vocabulary, so I have to search every single word, and that means like 8 or 10 languages that I have to search. So what am I using for that? I have illustrated dictionaries. Okay, actually I have this collection, visual dictionaries. Okay, Japanese, Portuguese, French, Hindi, I can't see, Chinese, German. So it's easy because I just take the same page on all of them, and I can find, like, for example, this one is about a bakery or a cafe, so I get words from there, the words that I want to know. Okay, there are many words, of course. I just take the ones that I think are going to be the most useful ones when I'm working. And then for some of the languages, I don't have that collection because I didn't find it, but I've got other kinds of visual dictionaries. Okay, so I can also find like a room here, and then I can get vocabulary about the rooms for the hotel, etc. I have others here, like for Italian or for Indonesian, which is also categorized into fields. Okay, so about hotels, about prepositions, about accessories, clothing, parts of the body, verbs for activities, etc. So I just take the vocabulary from all of these. And I also use a very practical dictionary that's on my phone. That's what's the name? Multi-language or Q dictionary or something like that. Let me check the name. Where is it? Here. Q multi-language translator. Q multi-language translator. It's very practical because you can have, let me write something. Hello. Okay. I don't think you can see it. Can you? No. A little? Not really. Yeah, maybe you can imagine how it is. Okay, as you can see, we have the different languages. So if I write a word, like I wrote hello in English, and then you see, I write hello and then search, and it checks the translations for all languages that I have, which are my 18 languages. Well, 17 because I don't have sign language. And then I can find it, and it's great because before it had only one translation for each word, but now there are it's not good because you can't see, but I unfolded the word when it has an arrow. Okay, when it has an arrow like this one, you see the arrow up there. So it unfolds, and you can find different meanings and different words. Okay, so yeah, once you get familiar with it, you can really take a very good advantage of it. If you are not familiar and you don't know how to search, it's very easy that you get mistakes. Because, for example, if you write leave, L-E-A-V-E, and then probably in some languages it gives you the verb to leave, and but maybe in other languages it gives you a leave, like to be on a leave or have a leave. Okay, a permiso in Spanish, or leave, salir, abandonar, but abandonar means to leave something abandoned. Okay, not to leave a house. To leave a house is salir de casa or irse de casa. So you have to be very careful. So maybe if I want that, I could write take a leave, so that it will give me the word permiso, because maybe it has memorized the whole construction. Or I am leaving today if I want to get the verb, because leaving, it's not going to give me a leave, permiso. Okay? So you have to learn how to use it and how to get words. For example, for German, it doesn't give you the gender of the words, but if I write a sentence like table, it will give me Tisch. But I don't know if it's der Tisch, das Tisch, die Tisch. Okay? So what do I do? So I can see the table. Okay? And then it will give me ich kann den Tisch sehen. So I know that the gender is der Tisch, because it gave me the accusative den Tisch. Okay? So these are little tricks, to little tips that you can use if you work with that dictionary. Great. I wanted to talk about something else. I am very interested in languages, obviously, but as I wrote on my page, I am also very interested in knowledge in general. Okay? General knowledge. I'm very interested in science, in astronomy, in cosmology, in quantum mechanics, in physics, in then in medicine, in history, politics, religions, lots of things. Anything interests me. Okay? So I also found that I've got the knowledge, and of course if I read more I get more knowledge, but I feel that, well, I realize that when I want to talk to people about things, I can't, because I don't have the vocabulary. Yeah, I can have basic conversation. It happened to me in Thai, for example. I am quite fluent in Thai now, but I felt that when I wanted to talk about history or something, like explain to someone why people speak good English in Malaysia or in Myanmar, in Burma, it's because they were colonized by the British in times of colonizations, blah blah blah. But I realized that when people ask me something like that, I couldn't explain it because I didn't know the vocabulary about colonization, to colonize, the time of colonizations, about conquering and conquests, about all these things, about history. So, and that happened to me with different topics. Like, oh, one day I remember someone asked me about a pendulum, okay, and it came to my mind about the Foucault's pendulum, okay, and I wanted to explain that and how it works. That it's got no mechanism. It's just it just works with gravity, okay. So it was impossible for me to explain that. I had to search all the vocabulary and everything. So that made me realize that, okay, learning vocabulary is good, of course, but it's impossible to learn all the vocabulary for all the things that I'm interested in. So a very good thing to do would be to read or watch videos about things that I'm interested in, which I always or almost always read in English or watch in English. Okay, so I've got a lot of knowledge in English, which I don't have in my other languages. So I started to use Wikipedia in different languages too. I downloaded the same articles in different languages, whether they're um, longer or shorter or whatever, I don't care, so that I could get the vocabulary about certain topics. For example, I was really interested in World War II and World War I, so I downloaded World Wars in different languages, and I was reading about them and writing the words and everything, so that I could know why it happened, what were the names of the countries that were um, uh, in war. Okay, so like for example, I know Turkey in many languages, but I didn't know the Ottoman Empire. So you start to get more vocabulary. That's great. I think I wrote something about that on my page, and then someone contacts me in a private message, and he said to me that there was one very interesting word, which is polymath. 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 A polymath is a person who is interested in very many subjects, in getting knowledge from very different areas. Okay? Or, as I read a short while ago, someone who's got the expertise in many areas, in many topics. Okay? It's not that I have the expertise, but I have quite a lot of knowledge in many things because I like to read a lot. And yeah, watch videos, whatever. So the other day, for example, I was watching videos on quantum mechanics and about gravity and the theory of strings and the relativity theories and everything in English, of course. So then I said, let me find some of these videos in other languages too, so that I could learn those words in different languages. Plus, watching the videos and getting the explanations is always good, because it's more knowledge that you're going to get. So I started to do that. And, for example, I have been really interested in history. It's funny, because when I was at school, I hated history. It's like, this is something that you have to just learn by heart, and after my exams, I would forget everything. And I didn't understand it because I wasn't really interested in it. When I started to travel around the world and become a nomad, when I became a nomad, and then it was great because I went to different countries and people would talk to me, and I would ask people and they would tell me stories. And for example, when I went to Japan, some people told me their own views about what happened in the Second World War. So that's really, really valuable for me. And I became very much interested in history. And now that I live in Thailand, I realized that I had no idea about Thai history, actually about Asian history. So I started to read more also. I even considered enrolling at university. I really want to study history, so I had been thinking about studying history with the UNED in Spain. It's the distance university, and you can get a degree there in 4 years. That's a BA in history. Then I realized that I would have to go to Spain twice a year, which is really expensive from Thailand, where I live. So I thought, maybe I could find a university here in Thailand where I could study online. And I kind of found something, and the program was really interesting for 4 years too. But apparently, if I'm not a national, I can't enroll, or I'm not sure, or if I can enroll, I think I have to pay a lot of money, which I don't have, and I am not interested in spending that. So anyway, I could get the literature from the lists of the subjects. So I got the books, the names of the books that they learn with. And actually they have lots of downloadable PDFs that they study in the subjects. So it's a lot of information. Then I found this book, yeah, World History from Stone Age to Globalization, but actually, what's that law? Okay, it's a Thai book. It's all written in Thai. Okay, from the first civilizations, the Egyptian civilizations, the Mesopotamian civilizations, then the Eastern civilizations too, how the Indus and how it extended to other places, how the civilizations spread to different areas, how the new civilizations started to grow up, and how everything developed, how religions were born, and how they were spread by different people. A little bit about these religions too. It's super interesting, okay? And that's a very great way to learn. If you can see, I have to search lots of words because I am not that fluent in Thai about these things. So what I do is just search the vocabulary and write it down on the book. Okay? So now some of the words that seemed really difficult at the beginning, like Arayatam, which is a civilization. Okay? Now it's a word that's in my active vocabulary because I've read it so many times that now it's in my brains. Okay? I recently started to read about philosophy too, and I have some some time ago I bought a printer so that I can get Wikipedia articles or whatever, print them out, and then I can read also. So if I'm interested in something like the theories of reality, for example, like what's reality, what's not reality, or what the essence of things was, or what the first philosophers like Aristotle started to think about the universe. That's very interesting. So I can read about that in other languages too, and it's great. I'm not ready to read in Chinese or Japanese, definitely, for example, but I try to get smaller things that I can find with a translation. Or I've got some books too with information about things but higher than the normal conversations, like hello, how are you, would you like to have a coffee, would you like to come with me, things like that. I can read already in Chinese, and I can say them, and even if I don't know the vocabulary I can just search the words that I don't know. But since my grammar is not so good yet and my vocabulary is very limited, I can't read normal articles in any of these languages. But still, like in Hindi, I still read some things, and whatever I understand is okay, whatever I don't, sometimes I search the vocabulary, but sometimes there's so much vocabulary that I don't search the vocabulary, I don't look it up. So, yeah, I would say this is the way how I have been working lately. Okay, I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy to be back with all my languages. I'm very happy to be working on my vocabulary lists. I'm very happy to be reading different kinds of knowledge in different languages. I have to say that mainly in Thai lately, because I'm really interested in this language now. I think I'm in a B2 or something like that level. So what I need now is lots of vocabulary, but like advanced vocabulary, like different terms for these topics, these fields of interest that I have. Okay. So I've been talking for a while. I'm not gonna talking in other languages. I will hopefully make a video soon in which I will speak in my languages again, because I really need to practice. And again, I want to explain that I don't do the videos for, well, this video of course is like something that I want to show you and explain to you so that maybe you can take advantage of it and use my methods too, or inspire you or something like that. But when I do my videos talking in different languages, it's not because I want to show off or because I want to show the world what I speak. I already explained that on my page. The sheer purpose of that is that I don't have people to practice these languages with. So I realize that then they get really rusty because I don't use them orally. So, okay, if I can't talk to anyone, I can talk to myself. But if I just talk to myself, it's not very effective because I don't take it very seriously. But I thought, if I make videos, then I'm going to take it more seriously and try to make a bigger effort. And then, of course, what do I do with the videos? If I just erase them, then I know I wouldn't make an effort anyway. So I want to share them. And also, it's a good practice for people who are learning other languages because they can try to understand what I'm saying. They can also help me correct things and whatever. Okay? So, yeah. Let's keep working. Okay? So, see you soon. Thank you very much for watching.